actually hear me okay, yeah? Yes. Fantastic. There's no feedback on it as okay. Good evening, Manchester. Now, despite what this may look like, I am not the series booth from Channel 4's Unnatables. This is actually a microphone, so bear with me with that either. But I have had a very unlucky life, ladies and gentlemen. It was saddened, man. Well, maybe not quite that sad, but seriously, it's been strange, my life, ever since the day I was born. I came out of the woman in the bed next to my mum. It was strange. My dad, he looked down at me and went, Rover. Well, he'd always wanted a dog. He said to me, Rover, you'll go far. And I did. That night he locked me in the car from the age 15 to London Euston. I swear my parents didn't want me. Truly, I do. At the age of 5, at Christmas time, they gave me an empty box. They told me it was an Action Man coward. Thinking about it, move around. I think comedians generally, in years gone by, used to tell jokes and everyone would laugh together. And I thought that was very old-fashioned. So I thought I'd try and do them with, people laughing clumps. And it's great that it's working well tonight. Well, seriously, it was a strange childhood, very sad as well. At the age of 6, I was left an orphan. I actually, at the age of 6, what did I want with an orphan? Around topic was funny. No, actually, it got worse than that. At the age of 7, I lost both my parents. What? Did you take her home, didn't you? No, seriously, I lost both my parents at the age of 7. What a card game that was. I've never played cards since. I'm scared of bringing them back, to be honest. School wasn't much better. But actually, there was one good time at school, only one. That was the age of 9. That was the teacher's pet. She kept me in a little cage in the corner. But then as we got older, school sports, I hated them. You might not guess, but I'm not exactly the best built low-con ladies. You might guess that. And I really hated football and rugby especially. But afterwards, when we got back in the shower, everyone laughed at my tackle. And I think that was about the age of 13, when I found out my penis and a Rubik's Cube have got a lot in common. The longer you play with them, the harder they get. And I'm sorry if I appear a little bit nervous up here on stage, ladies and gentlemen, but frankly I am. They say an audience can smell fear, especially if you've shit yourself. We're finding the level, I was a bit worried because there's some kids in. Now, if there's any kids in, Simple Simon says, hands in the air. Simple Simon says, hands on your knees. Simple Simon says, fingers in your ears. What do you call a can of tuna fish on a lesbian's coffee table? Air freshener. So it's not that I don't like kids. I've only got one hand grenade and work out how best to group them together. They'll still work. I tell you what, I know what you're thinking, ladies. It's hard to believe these days, looking like one of the Undatables, if this on the Facebook. I was very unlucky with the girls at school. Oh, I was. Sympathy's nice, thank you. No, I only had very few girlfriends, but I was always unlucky. I had a girlfriend once, she was half Swedish and half gypsy. She was up all night massaging my clothes pegs. And then there was a girl once, she was half English and half French. She don't shave under one arm. I remember very clearly at the age of 14, my dad walked into my bedroom, he said, son, and I found one of his magazines, like when he was out. He said, son, don't do that, you'll go blind. I said, Dad, I'm over here. He said, well, don't be reading that. I said, Dad, I'm not reading it, I'm just looking at the pictures. But that's when they decided to sit me down at home and teach me about the birds and the bees. Which they happened. The next day I went out, raped a seagull, got stung by a wasp. Oh, I was worried, I tell you, I thought I was pregnant for 3 weeks. Then he admitted the truth. My parents admitted the truth. They told me that the baby's delivered by the store. I said, in that case, Mum and Dad, who's up to the store? Ooh. Close your ears. Simple Simon says you never heard that. But you see, when I left school, things got even more bizarre. Fortunately, I did eventually lose my virginity, boys and girls. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, I did. I met a feminist prostitute. She insisted on paying half, which was good. She said to me one day, she said, do you want a blowjob? I said, well, only if it won't affect my dole money. had a dream. And I have a lot of strange dreams. Oh yes. One night I dreamed I was awake. Then I woke up and found I was asleep. Then there was the night I dreamed I was Alan Carr, the Channel 4 TV presenter. I knew it was my own fault. I fell asleep on my count bed. You know, some people say they drink coffee and they can't sleep. I'm the opposite. When I'm asleep, I just can't drink coffee. But I had a dream, and in this dream, I woke up in the morning, and when I woke up in the morning, I thought it was gone. I was wrong. It was Samantha. The curtains were drawn, but the furniture was real. And I walked up to the window, and I looked out the window, I looked to the left, and there was a heavy dew on the grass. He'd obviously got chucked out of the synagogue for swearing. And then I looked to the right, and there was a German shepherd shitting on the lawn. Fortunately, his animals were better behaved. And I turned to my girlfriend, and I said, can you call me a cow? She said, Jonathan, you're a cow. And in the end, the cow pulled up with the jerk got out, and I got in. And I knew that my drive was going to be easy because she had a mattress strapped to her back. We were driving along and she was going, Then she stopped and she got sore throat. But she got lost in this dream and she stopped and she got out of the car past the directions. And there was a farmer there digging his field. He was going, you, get downfield! And eventually he told us how to get there. We were on the way to the Splits Hotel. It's a little bit like the Ritz, except the food's not quite so good. But we arrived there and went to the door, and the man on the door asked for my name. I guess he didn't like his own. And I went inside and I looked at my watch and I thought, yes, there's just time before I go in to see that magician, the great famous magician who is show, who I'd aspired to be like. So I went in the restaurant for something to eat and I sat down and I looked to the side of me and there was a lady there with frog's legs and chicken's breast. But she had a smashing personality, all the same. And I looked at her and she looked at me and she rolled her eyes at me. And I picked them up and rolled them back. Well, she had glass eyes. She didn't tell me intentionally, it just dropped out in the conversation, you know. She also had an embarrassing mole on her. Very embarrassing. He kept jumping up and swinging on her bloody earring. But that's another story. Eventually I went in to see this magician and I walked into the little theatre area in the hotel and the magician was on stage performing with his assistant. Some people have just got no shame. I tell you. And he was doing a trick with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. But he threw away 1, 2 cards, gave him a flick, that did the trick. And he was still left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. And the whole audience went, call blimey. But obviously you weren't that audience. kind of audience participation. I went to him after the show, but I wanted to know how he did this. And I said, you know that trick you did earlier on with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards where you threw away 1, 2, gave him a flick that did the trick, you were still left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, and the whole audience went, fantastic, get it all the time as well. You've got another opportunity, yeah? I said, can you tell me how that's done? He said, no, I can't, I'm afraid. I'm a member of the secret five. It's so secret, I don't know who the other 4 members are. But he did tell me. He said 2 things. He said, number 1, if you can find out how the trick is done, go practice it somebody where nobody will see you. So when I eventually found out how to do it, I went to show 5. And he also said there's a magic shop just outside Manchester. So I went down to the magic shop and I knocked on the door. And the man answered the door in his pyjamas, which I thought was a silly place to keep the door. And I said to him, if you got that trick with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, where you threw away 1, 2 cards, and you flick it, does the trick, and you're still left with 3, 4, 5 cards, and the whole audience goes, he said no. And I looked at him and I thought, I knew there was something strange about this man. He had wooden legs but real feet. Apparently his shop set on fire once. Oh yes, the fire brigade saved the shop, but he was burnt to the floor. Tried to later on reassurance and said he didn't have a leg to stand up. Yes. He said, no, we don't have that trick, but we do have a trick with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, where you throw away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, and you're left with 1, 2, drop one, as opposed to throwing away 1, 2, and being left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, and the whole audience going, you're warmed up, this is good, we're going to need a volunteering minute. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, it was my original intention tonight to come out here before I tried to read somebody's mind, to show you that trick using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. When you throw away 1, 2, give them a flick, it's the flick that does the trick, and you're still left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. But I just couldn't find out how it was done. I thank you. Let's move this just a little bit forward. We need a volunteer to read mine, obviously, otherwise I'll just be telling you what I was thinking. False things immensely. Everyone's now going, oh no, not me, not me. Right, sorry, it's no offense, we have to be over 18 for this health and safety. Can we get something different? Can we possibly scrap something from it? You know, every baby, you say that, you can run that door. Hopefully I will not need this, ladies and gentlemen. This is kind of my second chance to get out of jail free card in case anything should go wrong. But you know, Deborah, nice to meet you, Deborah. I'm going to give you a okay, Deborah.
No.
What we have here are some words. These are things that people do. So we've got jog, run, read, cry, jump, walk, work, swim. I could go through them all. They're all physical things. Okay? So I'm going to give them a bit of a quick shuffle like that. But we don't have a table. So that you can randomly choose one. I'll just borrow that for 1 second. Just cut the cards. Complete the cut. Put down onto there, yes. Take the card that you cut to. Take that top card off. Don't let me see it. Look at it. See what word you've got, okay? Get that clearly in your mind. Have you done that? Yeah. Okay. In which case, can you put it back on top? I want everyone to see clearly that I'm not looking at them. And I'll take the microphone. I'm going to ask you some questions. And I'd like you to answer these very loud and clear. Okay. I want you to think of the word. It's a physical action, yes? It's something that you do with your body, yeah? All of those words are. So that bit's not my reading. I only reference to the words. They're all physical things. So, I don't want you to see this, I just want the audience to be able to see. Think of the word you've got in mind. If I ask you any questions, just a simple yes or no, loudly and clearly into the microphone, that's all, don't give me any clues. Look at me, please. Okay, I'm going to go for the first letter. Is there, just a simple yes or no, is there a letter E in this?
Yes.
Go on! Number 1. No. There's so many words this could be. Think of it. Okay. I'm going to go. No, please, don't give any clues, because she might give me clues and tell me if I'm right or wrong. That's not fair. I just want to ask you a couple of questions before I commit to this. Is this something that, well, step 1, so you come somewhere close, are there 3 letters in this word?
Yeah.
Right, so it's not more, it would be way okay. So that's 3 letters, cool, what's that? Is this something you do quite often?
Yeah.
Every day?
Yeah.
What, more than once a day?
Yeah.
How many times over?
About 3.
When was the last time you did this thing without telling me what it is?
Tea time.
Would you use your nail for this at all?
Yeah.
And I'm not too sure about this. Alright, one more question. Is this something you do on your own or with friends?
Both.
Okay, one final question, my love. Is this something that we could do together after the show? Obviously, if I pay. I'll take that as a rejection, and I told you one day to will shut up. Okay, get ready. Here we go. Loud and clear on count 3. Please tell everyone, I'm going to commit to this. Please tell everyone what word it was that you randomly chose and thought of out loud. What was it?
Eat.
Thank you very much, darling. so much it wore off, I had another. I made a prediction in this envelope. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately we've been a little bit rushed tonight, but I've tried for a month of time. Let's get rid of that. Presentation. And I hope you've had some fun. But now my time is up and this short act is almost done. Now some things may not have gone quite right, not the wrong word, but nothing really tragic. But that's the chance one always takes when dabbling in magic. So now my friends, before I pack and disappear from sight, I'd like to wish you one and all. By the way, what was the word again? Eat? I'd like to wish you one and all, ladies and gentlemen, you've been a wonderful audience. The word was eat. My name's Jonathan Clark.
Let's say please for Jonathan Clark.